Hi, welcome to the Immunity Health webinar. My name is Leah Cruz and I'm with Healing Yourself Holistically. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to go over immune health, ways to identify signs and symptoms if your immune system is compromised, as well as certain diet and lifestyle tips that we can do to get your immune health strong and healthy. So let's go ahead and talk about immune health. All right, so why is our immune system so important? Well, our immune system protects our body from harmful substances, such as pathogens, such as bacteria, viruses, and parasites, allergens from our environment, such as pollen or dust or other environmental pollutants, and toxins, such as poison chemicals and pesticides. All of the things can get into our body through our skin, our respiratory system, and orally, and get into our digestive system and wreak havoc on our body. So our immune system is there to protect if any of these get into our body, to make sure that it's our defense system to help identify and then get these harmful things out of our systems. Our immune system also helps fight and remove disease and infection from the body. Our amazing T cells, B cells, and macrophages are our white blood cells or our immune fighting cells that are going to help go in there and help fight and remove any of these disease or infection pathogens that are affecting our body and our health. Our immune system also removes dead and damaged tissues and cells from our body. Our spleen and our lymph nodes are two examples of organs that help filter out dead or damaged cells from our body and our blood as well. And the most important, I feel like, is it identifies and removes abnormal cells from our body. Our immune cells are really smart about identifying if there's any abnormal cells in our body and making sure that it removes them before they are able to multiply and turn into cancerous cells. This is, of course, an issue, as we know, with cancer, that it can spread and multiply into cancer, which can also start affecting larger systems, organs, and tissues in our body, which eventually can lead to more serious issues. So we really need our immune system. It's kind of that defense system, our fighting protection that helps for anything harmful that gets into our body. Our immune system then goes ahead, identifies, and takes action to remove this. So this is very important that we make sure that our immune system is strong so that it protects our overall health. So being able to tell kind of some signs and symptoms to tell if your immune system is weak is kind of really nice to know, because if you know about these and you are able to identify when your immune system might be a little bit weak or compromised, then you're able to take action before you get sick or catch a flu to keep your immune system healthy so this doesn't happen. So let's take a look at a few of these. First is always getting sick. And I'm not talking about maybe once a year, cold or flu. This is you're chronically getting sick more than, 2+ times during the year, whether it be a cold, a flu, respiratory infection, earaches. Any of these are signs of low levels of antibodies. So this is going to be kind of a red flag that our immune system is compromised and that we might need to do some things to boost our immune system. As well as digestive issues. If our low gut bacteria is compromised or depleted, we're going to start getting poor digestive issues. This can be anything from gas, bloating, diarrhea, indigestion. All these things are signs of low gut microbiome, which is also equal to low immunity. So this is a good red flag. Frequent infections. Anything from cold sores, rashes, earaches, or respiratory issues means poor immunity. These are kind of initial red flags for inflammation in the body, which is as well leading to low immunity. So these are something to take a look at, as well as slow healing wounds. When your immune system is sluggish, your white blood cells aren't able to regenerate. And so when you're not getting this healthy blood or cell regeneration, then your skin regeneration is also going to be compromised. So you're going to see this where your cuts or any injuries on your external skin is going to be healing slow. Chronic stress and fatigue are two that are kind of go hand in hand. But when you stress chronically, this is going to suppress your immune system over time. As well as when you're chronically fatigued, this is usually because your immunity is weak and your body isn't able to metabolize energy properly. So it is going to result in being tired, weak, and fatigued all the time. Usually, if you're chronically stressed, you're chronically fatigued, and usually if you're chronically fatigued, you're chronically stressed, which is kind of a red flag where I say it kind of goes hand in hand. But this is something of a sign to take a look at and be aware of, as well as poor sleep. Poor sleep can, of course, impair body from producing immune functioning cells. So sleep, the purpose of sleep during the night is to regenerate and renew all the systems in our body. And when we're not getting this proper sleep, our body isn't able to regenerate. And it's really important for the regeneration process of our white blood cells, which will determine the strength of our immune system. So if any of these signs are coming up, might be a red flag that our immune system is a little bit weak. And what we can do is we can go ahead and take some of these tips and tools from this webinar to boost our immune system and get it nice and healthy. All right, so let's take a look at some factors that might affect our immune system that might occur in our daily lives. This can be anything from poor diet, lack of exercise, overweight or obesity, poor sleep, chronic stress, extreme emotions, drug and medication use, as well as poor sanitation or cleanliness. All of these factors in our daily lives can weaken or help deplete our immune system over time. So we want to be aware of these. So let's take a look at the first one, healthy diet. Of course, we all know we need a healthy diet to be healthy, but it also affects our immune system as well. Some of these things in a bad diet will definitely suppress our immune system, such as high fat in a diet can imbalance your gut bacteria, as well as saturated fats, salts, and sugars will also help impair immune function. Sugar is the number one, this is going to promote actual bad gut bacteria in your digestive system. This is a no-no because we need the good gut bacteria in our microbiome. This is where actually about 70% of our immune system lives and is controlled in this good gut bacteria. And so we need that for our immune system to be strong and thrive. But on the other hand, if we are eating a whole bunch of sugar or fatty bad diet foods, then it's going to actually promote bad gut bacteria, which is going to chase out the good gut bacteria. Over time, this will cause, of course, digestive issues and inflammation. But when there is a majority of bad over good gut bacteria, our immune system can actually thrive in our stomach. And so usually that occurs with a weakened immune system. So it's important that we make sure that some of these processed foods or refined grains, these also contain pesticides, additives, and preservatives, all natural toxic things that are going to over time weaken your immune system. So we kind of want to stay away from this or reduce or eliminate if we can, and we want to focus on some good foods. So what good foods are in a diet? Well, fresh fruits and vegetables are a really great way. These foods are packed with natural vitamins and minerals that our white blood cells need for fuel, as well as mostly fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, lean meats. These are all nutrient-dense foods. This is also important because we can eat a small amount of food, but if it's nutrient-packed, then we're getting that overall benefit. So it's not about how much you eat, it's about the types and qualities of food that you eat that are really important. These nutrient-dense foods also are going to provide our immune cells the fuel they need to function. As well as we need to make sure, like I mentioned earlier, 70% of our immunity is controlled in our gut. So we want to make sure that we're promoting healthy gut bacteria. And because when we have healthy gut bacteria, of course, we're digesting our foods properly, as well as we're absorbing the maximum amount of nutrients, vitamins, and minerals from our food, but we're also giving our immunity the proper environment it needs to thrive and be strong so that when we need to use our immune system, it can go to action. Staying hydrated is also something that we might not think of, but it is there involved in a healthy diet. As well as, our bodies and tissues and brain and everything needs water to function. Water is actually utilized as well as our body's natural way to detox. So when we're drinking water, of course, we're naturally sweating out toxins, we're urinating, as well as whatever is excreted in our stool. These are all our body's natural ways of detoxing our body. So when we're staying hydrated, we're actually allowing our body that natural detoxification process, which is the first step our body does to get rid of any unwanted things in our body before they can lead to anything else. So when we're giving our body water, it can naturally detox so that overall we're not getting these accumulated toxins that can lead to disease and illness in the future. All right. All right, so let's go about making some smart food choices. And how can we do that? Well, like I said earlier, let's stay hydrated, and we can do this by drinking 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. This might sound like a lot, it differs for everybody. The kind of general code that I like to do is whatever your body weight is in pounds, we're going to divide that in half, and whatever that number is in ounces. So, for example, if I am 100 pounds, then I should be drinking 50 ounces of water a day. So, of course, it varies for everybody, as well as if you're doing a lot more outside activities or exercise where you're sweating a lot, then you might need to increase this water as well. But the main thing is just making sure that you're getting your adequate amount of water every day. We'll make sure that you're healthy and your immune system is strong. Another one is let's eat some immune boosting foods. This can be anything. These are my favorite on here. This can be ginger, honey, garlic, citrus, green tea, turmeric root, and fish. There are quite a few as well. I will provide an immune boosting food chart on my website if you want to take a look and kind of see, but there are quite a big amount of foods that have these amazing immune boosting properties. And why these are important is they usually have anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antiseptic, antiviral properties, as well as packed with vitamins and minerals that are all going to help promote your immune system. So these are nice because you can add these to a healthy diet to help give you that extra increased benefit or oomph to your diet so that you're getting that immune boosting support. As well as let's eat a healthy diet. Usually that consists of fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, lean meats, low-fat dairy, nuts, legumes, and healthy oils and fats. We just want to make sure that we're eating the right foods that will give our body the vitamins and minerals we need to stay healthy, as well as support our immune system. A few other things is I always recommend is making sure that you're cooking some home cooked meals the majority of the time. The reason I recommend this is because you're able to determine what is actually going into your food, where if you're eating out, sometimes you're not quite sure the quality of food or what is going into the food. So I always love to recommend you cooking food at home. Another reason is you can sneak in some of these immune boosting food items into your diet as well. So when you're cooking at home, the majority, you're usually going to be eating quality foods. Another one I like to throw in there is eating according to your Docic body type. Now you might say, if you're not familiar with dosha, a dosha is in Ayurveda, we believe that there certain types of people have different doshic dominant body types. And this is usually determined by your body as well as your personality, but it pretty much just means the most dominant elements in your body determine your dosha. There are 3 doshas, vata, pitta, and kapha. If you're not sure what your dosha type is, you can go on my website and you can actually take a dosha test. And when you determine your dosha, then there's a whole bunch of proper doshic diet lists, as well as other really good information on my website to learn a little bit more about your dosha. But when you find out your dosha, there's specific foods and routines that actually will promote your dosha, make it balanced and healthy. So eating according to your dosha type is another good tip to help keep your body healthy and your immune system strong. All right. And another thing we need to do is why not let's just give our immune system a hand. How can we do that? Well, first, let's promote good gut bacteria. Like I said, 70% of your immune system is controlled in your gut. So we want to make sure that we're giving it a healthy, comfortable environment to live and thrive in. How can we do that? Well, let's take a probiotic daily if needed. And you might say, oh, I know what a probiotic is, but what's a prebiotic? Well, a prebiotic is just the food for the probiotic bugs to live, grow, and thrive. They're going to, of course, need food to live in there. So usually you can find a probiotic with a prebiotic in it. So it's just one pill you take a day or after a meal, depending on what is prescribed by the bottle. But this will help get that good gut bacteria in there so that it can live and thrive and grow in a healthy environment. Another thing we can do is we can just eat plenty of fibrous foods, such as vitamins, grains, and fruits. Why fiber is important is, of course, it keeps our digestion regular, healthy, and strong, but fibrous foods also help feed our good gut bacteria. So we want to make sure that we're giving our gut bacteria plenty of food to thrive on. And fermented foods to our diet is also something that's a really good tip, something easy that you can add to your diet to boost your healthy gut bacteria. Some fermented food examples are miso, kombucha, kimchi, as well as yogurt's a really good one too, because it contains those natural probiotic bugs in them too. So this is just a few things you can do to help promote good gut bacteria that I recommend. You can also do some immune supporting supplements to your diet to help boost your immune system. There's some immune supporting herbs and spices that I recommend. A few listed here is euthanasia, ashwagandha, licorice, and anadrofis. These are also really good because they contain all those amazing immune supporting qualities such as antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antiviral that are all going to help support your immune system. So these ones you can take as well to help. You can find these, of course, in any natural food store. You can probably also find them in a lot of grocery stores and capsule or powder forms. Sometimes there is also immune supporting supplement blends that contain some or all of these, and it's just a one pill as well. So definitely adding these to your diet will also help support your immune system health. And we need to do maybe take some vitamin and mineral supplements. Normally you'd be getting this if you're eating a healthy, balanced diet. But if not, a few important vitamins and minerals that our immune system needs to function is going to be vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, selenium, and a vitamin B complex. Now we probably think, oh yes, I know about vitamin C and zinc because we think of, oh, flu season's coming up, I better take my vitamin C or take my emergency or orange juice. And that's because we all know that vitamin C and zinc are important for supporting immune system, but also vitamin D, B, and selenium are also very important as well. And you can also probably all get these in a multivitamin if you wanted to add all these into your daily routine to help boost your immune system. But these are just a few things that you can add with a healthy diet to help increase your immune boosting. Another factor that's really important in your immune system is exercise and maintaining a healthy weight. We all know that exercise is, of course, good for your general health, but it also has a big impact on your immune system. Of course, we know that anaerobic exercise is great for our health, but it also helps increase our immune system. Another good benefit for exercise is that it actually promotes circulation and our immunity. And why this is important is our immune system is in our blood. And so we want to make sure that our blood is healthily being circulated throughout our body. Why this is important is because let's say we get an infection all the way down in our foot. If we have slow or poor circulation, it's going to take longer for our immune fighting cells to get all the way down to our foot, identify and capture whatever is down there causing havoc and get it out of our body. So when we're having this healthy circulation that comes about with exercise, then we're able to get quick immune system fighting action to wherever in our body it needs to get to. But exercise also is very important because it helps balance our hormones. Our hormones, of course, regulate a lot of systems in our body, but they also help with our immune system. Some important immune system hormones, such as cortisol, adrenaline, will affect our immune system. So we want to make sure that we're keeping our hormones balanced to get a healthy immune system functions. There's kind of two spectrums to exercise. Of course, we know under exercise is not good. Like I said, it impairs our immune system, but we also want to make sure that we're not overdoing exercise. And this is usually, I'm talking about every day or twice a day. We're just, 2+ hours. We're just going crazy with exercise. There is a spectrum where too much is not a good thing. And with exercise, this can kind of wreak havoc our immune system because we're depleting and weakening our fluids, our hydration, and a lot of our cells that are needed to control our immune system. And we want to make sure that we're doing a good equal balance. Usually this is 4 to 5 times a week for about 30 to 45 minutes is recommended for a healthy exercise routine. We also want to make sure that we're maintaining a healthy weight because when we're overweight or obese, this can lead to a lower white blood cell, which is our immune fighting cell production and function. So these are some things that we can do to help with our immune system. So let's get physical. Like I said before, I recommend 30 to 45 minutes, 4 to 5 days a week. And this can be any and all types of exercises, great. Choose an exercise that fits your fitness level. I also recommend finding something you enjoy and that's fun, because when you're enjoying it, you're more likely to do it. Do it more often. It's not going to be pain and torture. Some people love to exercise, but some people don't. So it's always recommended that you find something that's in your fitness level and something you like, so it's fun. I also recommend, if you can, exercise that promotes sweating is really good, because that's also going to promote that natural detoxification, as well as going to help strengthen your metabolism, which is going to help with healthy digestion, which will overall help keep your immune system strong. So this is great. If we could also find a way to incorporate a little bit outdoor exercise, this is also beneficial for your immune system. Sunlight is a great way to get that vitamin D, which is that essential immune system vitamin that's needed, as well as fresh air helps promote healthy white blood cells, and oxygen is needed to help fight off germs, bacteria, and virus. So if you can maybe incorporate maybe 1 or 2 days a week of your exercise, trying to do it outside, or, you know, incorporating maybe walking the dog around the block or going for a little walk around after dinner, this will help get you that extra immune boosting benefits that outdoor exercise will give you. Now let's take a look at sleep. Sleep is, of course, important for your general health, your brain health, your emotional health, but also your immune system health. It's very, very important. Poor sleep can lead to low cortisol levels. And over time, this will overactivate your immune system and cause inflammation. And usually when this happens, you'll start to kind of see signs of, you know, general body aches and pains that will start as kind of a sign of red flag inflammation in the body. This is going to also cause other issues, but this is kind of a sign when we're getting poor sleep that inflammation is starting chronically inside of our body. We want to be careful of this. Poor sleep also will start increasing your stress hormones. This is your cortisol, your adrenaline. When this happens, our stress hormones will kind of imbalance our natural hormones in our body. And this can actually affect our sleep even more. This is because when our hormones become imbalanced, then what will generally happen is, naturally, when we're awake, our cortisol hormones are supposed to be high to give us energy throughout the day. But what will happen is they will become imbalanced and flip. And this is when you're going to start getting that, like I said, that fatigue, tiredness throughout the day. And then what'll happen around, 9 or 10, when you're supposed to be ready for bed, naturally your cortisol levels are low, but of course they're going to be imbalanced and flip, so they'll be high. And this is when you're going to start getting that insomnia, not being able to sleep. And then what's going to happen, you're not going to be able to sleep all night. And then when the morning comes around, your levels will also be flipped and you're going to be tired all day long. And it's just that vicious cycle when our hormones get balanced, that we're going to be fatigued and exhausted all day. We want to make sure we're careful of this. So we want to make sure, of course, we're trying to get 7+ hours of restful sleep a night. This might sound like a lot, but it is essential for your general health as well as your immune system. So we want to make sure that we're kind of doing these baby steps to get us to that optimal 7+ hours of restful sleep a night. The most important thing is, let's just establish a regular sleep and wake schedule. This is going to help to balance our natural circadian rhythm, which is our body's internal clock. When this is balanced, it's going to control every system in the body. But like I said, importantly, our stress hormones, which will affect our sleep and our immunity. So we want to make sure we're keeping this natural schedule. The way to do this is just establish a regular time that you wake up at every day of the week and you go to bed. I like to recommend waking up between 5 and 7 a.m. This is usually trying to wake up with the sun, or that's our body's natural rhythm. But this can also be, between an hour before the sun comes up to around an hour after the sun comes up. This is going to be the best time for your body naturally to wake up, get your hormones started, your digestive system started, and everything. As well as trying to get to bed no later than 10 p.m. This might be hard for people if you're working late or just to get yourself asleep at night. I understand, but this is kind of the time that our bodies naturally are trying to wind down. And this is actually going to be allowing us enough time to fall asleep, to get that REM quality 7+ hours of sleep. So the way we do this is we're just, going to naturally be trying every day to get to bed by 10. The way to do this that'll help is let's just try to calm the mind naturally. One way to do this, which is great, is let's just try to turn or detach from all electronic devices 1 hour before bedtime. This is really important because all these electronic devices emit a blue light that actually stimulates your brain and tells it to stay active or pay attention. So when we're doing this, of course our body, and then we try to go to bed right away, of course we're not going to be able to go to sleep. Our body is active and going, so we want to make sure that we are detaching or turning off any of this an hour before bed, because this gives us our brain time to turn down, settle down, and calm and get it ready to turn off for some sleep. So this is a tip that we can also, that's really helpful actually. Once you try it, it will start calming your mind and getting it more relaxed for sleep. Let's take a look at stress. This one's a big one that everyone deals with, not just for immune health, but general health. And stress, we have to be really careful with, because stress is kind of the instigator of this vicious cycle that might occur. So usually when we're chronically stressing, it will start to affect our sleep. We're getting poor sleep, insomnia. It'll also affect our diet habits. We're going to start eating naughty foods, food cravings, salty, sweet foods, and over time, this could affect our exercise, where we don't have energy to exercise. Or it could go reverse, where we need to distress, so we're over exercising. And all these things can also affect or cause stress in our lives. So over time, this is kind of a vicious cycle where, the hamster wheel's going and affecting everything over and over again. So we want to make sure that we're really conscious about controlling our chronic stress. Why? Because chronic stress will, of course, increase your cortisol levels, like we mentioned earlier, and this is going to impair your immune system. It also impairs your T cells, which are your infection-fighting cells in your body. So when we're chronically stressing, it's going to start weakening these cells, and they're not going to be able to be strong and active when we need them for an infection or fighting any harmful pathogens. So we want to really make sure that we're not stressing when necessary. Stress also releases histamines in your body, which increases your chance of inflammation as well as illness in your body. And imbalances hormones, which will overall affect your poor sleep, insomnia, as well as other health issues. So chronic stress, like I said above, it affects your hormones. The most important that it affects is it increases your adrenaline and your cortisol. These are your fight or flight hormones. Now, we naturally need these because when something happens, our natural effect is we need to be able to get out of there. And so our adrenaline and cortisol levels will raise, and it'll increase our heart rate as well to give us the energy to get out of that situation. But then when we're out of it, we're naturally supposed to calm, and all these hormone levels will go down. But what happens with chronic stress is that we're not giving our body that recuperation time. We're just stressing about something again and again and again. And so our bodies, these hormone levels are chronically high all the time, which means our heart rate is chronically high all the time. And over time, this can cause cardiac issues, strokes, any of these other major issues. We want to make sure that we're allowing our body in stressful situations that recuperation time after to bring these hormone levels down naturally. And when our hormones become imbalanced because of this chronic stress, it'll also take a hit and impair our gut bacteria, which of course we already know we need to keep our immune system strong. So with stress, let's take a look at some things we can do to reduce it. One of my favorites, of course, is breathing. I know you might think breathing, really? But yes, breathing is very important. And the reason it's my personal favorite is because it's free. You can do it anywheres. You can do it as long as you want. And it's super, super easy. And of course, it's going to reduce your stress, balance your hormones, bring down your heart rate. And there are many types of breathing exercises, but the idea behind it is you're inhaling or exhaling a breath for a certain count. And what this is going to do is it's going to slow down your heart rate, calm your mind, and of course, affect your hormones and your immune system level. And there are many different breathing techniques. You can go on the internet or my website and take a look at the different breathing techniques. But breathing is really, really recommended because you can do it in your car when you're in traffic. You can do it in your office after some, a deadline stressing you out, or when you're in a situation that's causing stress. You can just, stop for 2 seconds and, like I said, take 3 deep breaths in before you react to a situation. And it kind of just gives you that clear reset that can help reduce your stress. So definitely breathing exercises, take advantage of it. It's free, it's easy, and you can do it anywhere. But some other good reducing stress techniques is, we have all heard of yoga. Yoga is really good. It reduces your stress and anxiety levels, balance your hormones, and calms your mind. And this doesn't have to be crazy hot yoga. This can be just, a stretching or restorative yoga. There's even chair yoga out there. If you're willing to do yoga, do it at your fitness level. Do what you can, but overall the idea is just, it's a quiet area where you can just go internally, and this is going to slow your heart rate, clear your mind, and calm your nerves. So yoga is really good, as well as meditation. We all know meditation is good for focusing your mind, but it also helps with reducing stress. Meditation is kind of a scary thing to some people. It sounds daunting or intimidating, but meditation can be anything. It doesn't have to be this full complex thing. It can be anything from just sitting quietly in a chair or laying down with your eyes closed for 10 to 15 minutes. And pretty much just the idea is to kind of clear your mind. Don't let it kind of run and worry about what needs to be done. Just calm down, breathe, and clear your mind just for, 5 to 10 minutes a day. And that's going to be a type of meditation that's going to help reduce stress. Essential oil therapy is really, really good. I like to use it when I do my breathing exercises, meditation, as well as it's utilized in yoga. But the idea is you're applying an essential oil either on your skin topically with a carrier oil, or you can inhale it. You can put it in an aromatherapy machine. But the idea is that certain essential oils have that calming, soothing, sedative quality that are going to help calm down your nerves and reduce your stress. 3 of my favorites are going to be lavender, bergamot, and citrus essential oils. There are quite a few more, but these are my 3 favorite that kind of help calm and soothe my mind and help reduce stress. Pressure point massage I use every day. And this is going to help promote circulation, calm your mind, and reduce your heart rate. There are as many points on your body, but kind of the number 1 favorites is, of course, we're probably familiar with this, the temples. Kind of, you've seen that when people get a headache or stress, they'll kind of, rub their temples. This is an area that when you're rubbing in a clockwise with light pressure will help reduce stress, as well as the base of the skull and the top of the neck. This is an area that you can rub to help reduce stress, as well as kind of the shoulder blade bottom where the neck heats the shoulders. This is usually where people will get knots or stress will accumulate. So it's another good area you can use, as well as you can utilize your essential oils as well on these areas to help give you that added stress reducing benefits. And some simple ones like being in nature. Being in nature naturally just kind of calms your mind. That's the fresh air, the sunlight, you're getting that natural vitamin D, but this is an easy, free way to reduce your stress. And being with loved ones, friends, family, being with pets, this is a great support system that can help reduce your stress. Journaling is another really good one that people like. Sometimes they like to, kind of whatever's stressful or worrying them, if they write it out, it usually is a good way to kind of get it out, get that stress out of your body, as well as just, a favorite, do a hobby, something you love. This is going to be something that's going to give you joy and happiness, but it also will help take your mind off whatever stressful situation that is occurring, because you're focusing on this hobby that you love and that you enjoy. So these are just a few techniques. There's many, many more, but these are my favorites that you can do to help reduce your stress. Extreme emotions, like we mentioned a little bit earlier, these are going to affect your immune system. And we might think of these and be like, well, wait a minute, how? Well, let's take a look. So what are extreme emotions? These are going to be emotions that are going to affect your mental capacity as well as increase hormones and cause stress in your body. These can be anything from fear, grief, loneliness, anxiety, anger, and depression. All of these emotions over time are going to start to weaken your immune system response time, as well as imbalance your hormone levels. These emotions cause a lot of anxiety and in our bodies that kind of mimics that kind of stress, what chronic stress does, and they will start to increase your cortisol levels, which will, of course, impair your immune system function and increase inflammation in your body, as well as affect your mental health. So when some of these are occurring chronically, sometimes usually they're out of our control, but there's ways, there's counseling, talking to friends or family, meditation, yoga, exercise. A lot of these techniques that we're talking about to help a boost immune system will also help with extreme emotions. So, but I just wanted to point out that these are something that people don't normally think about, but they can also start to impair your weaken your immune system if chronically occurring. So we want to be conscious of these. Being in nature and sunlight is a really good immune boosting technique that we can use. It's recommended 30 minutes of sunlight daily, and you're going to get your daily vitamin D amount, or you can take your vitamin D in a supplement form. Usually 600 IUs is your recommended daily vitamin D amount needed. Sunlight also, though, energizes T cells, which are your immune fighting infection cells. So when we're in sunlight, we're also getting that vitamin D, which is the food fuel for our immune system, but it also is going to kind of energize or give our T cells that boost to make them strong and healthy when we need them. Being out in nature, though, also helps reduce stress and anxiety. Usually, like when you're out, it also is because it's usually quiet, but out in nature kind of just soothes you, relaxes you, kind of helps you clear your mind. So being in nature is another great way that's free, easy, and cheap that you can do to help reduce your immune system. Trees also produce a phytoncide, which you naturally will breathe in that you're not even realizing will help naturally boost your immune system. This is something that you might not know about, which is another tip on why when we're in nature, we kind of feel happy, energized, and relaxed. Being out in nature, of course, that vitamin D that we're getting from the sun boosts our immune system and our T cell strength, as well as vitamin D also helps decrease illness and inflammation in the body. So it increases our immune system and decreases all the bad inflammation and illness in our body. So we want to make sure that we're being conscious of getting our required vitamin D that our immune system needs. We can either do this with natural sunlight or we can get that vitamin D supplement. Let's take a look at some other things we might not think of. Now, when we're talking about weakened immune system, smoking and alcohol we probably are consciously aware of, but medication also is going to affect our immune system. Let's take a look at the first two. So smoking. Well, smoking we also know is bad for our health, but it is also bad for our immune system. It's going to increase those cortisol levels that we know is going to increase inflammation and impair our immunity. And it's also going to decrease our T cells, which are disease fighting cells. So smoking, we want to make sure that we're avoiding smoking if we can. If you smoke, there's other things you naturally can do to help stop smoking, but this is really something that, especially usually smokers, you're smoking every day. So you're every day weakening your immune system, impairing it so that it's not going to have a chance to get strong and help. So when usually smokers are more apt to get sick and be open to disease or illness. So we want to make sure that we're trying to quit smoking if you're a smoker. Alcohol, though, is another one that's going to impair your immune system. When you drink any sort of alcohol, it's naturally going to decrease and impair your immune system for up to 24 hours. Now, if you're having one drink a week, then you're giving your body those other 6 days to heal and repair. But if you're having an alcoholic beverage every day, you're not giving your immune system the time it needs to reboost and get strong. So this is really important to be aware of so that If we're drinking every day, our immune system is never going to have that fighting chance to be able to get strong, no matter what we're doing. So we want to make sure that we're limiting, if not avoiding, alcohol consumption. Alcohol also destroys our good gut bacteria, which of course our immune system needs to function, as well as it promotes inflammation in the body. So all these things alcohol is going to do to our body, as well as weaken and deplete our immune system. So we want to be aware of this. But let's take a look at medication, something we might not think of. Now, don't worry, I'm not telling you to stop taking your medication. If it is prescribed by your healthcare practitioner, then of course, continue taking your medication. What I'm saying is I'm just trying to make you aware that if you are taking medication, you might want to be adding some immune boosting foods or supplements, because the medication can be weakening or depleting your immune system. So that's why we're covering it now. Medication can counter or impair your immune cell function, as well as kill or damage your good gut bacteria. And antibiotics can also impair your immune response. So if we're doing any of these three, we want to make sure that we are doing some sort of immune boosting, and that we're aware that these are chronically, daily impairing our immune system if there's something that we're doing every day. Let's limit our exposure to harmful chemicals and pesticides, as well as heavy metals. These harmful toxins can impair our immune function and damage our health. Now, these things are something that we might not even think about, but they're all around us. So the first thing is, anything that goes in our body, whether we put on our body, we digest it, or it is around us and touches our body, or we breathe it in, these can all cause problems to our immune system. So let's take a look at beauty products. These usually are contained with synthetic chemicals, toxins, additives, preservatives. All these things over time, of course, they are unnatural and toxic, so they're going to weaken and damage our immune system. So let's maybe take a look at using natural beauty products. I use all natural, and I think that they are the same, if not better, than unnatural synthetic. So you might just, I know it might be something new that you're not used to, but maybe pick two or three products from your thing, whether it be your makeup, maybe your shampoo, your body wash, chapstick, and kind of switch to natural and see how you like it. But these things aren't causing or adding any of these harmful chemicals or toxins into our body. Another thing that we might not think of is our cleaning products. Our soaps that we wash dishes with, our, cleaners that we clean our house with. All these things are going to have that toxic chemicals in it that we are touching with our hands, that are going to soak in through our skin and cause immune weakening and depletion. So they also make all natural cleaning products, as well as you can usually make these with natural things you have in your house as well. But this is a smart tip to add, is all natural cleaning products to help avoid this harmful chemicals and pesticides from getting into your body. But our food actually contains a lot of these harmful chemicals as well. We might not think of. When we think of processed foods or non-organic foods, these are going to have usually preservatives, additives. Sometimes our produce, they spray with wax, so they use pesticides when they grow it. All of these things, these chemicals we're ingesting, and they're going to go into our body, and they're going to start impairing our immune system. So we want to make sure when we can, we're eating organic produce, we're eating as much non-processed manufactured foods as we can, as well as we want to be conscious that if our meat is not organic, grass-fed, or fresh fish, then all these things are going to have antibiotics usually added to them, as well as be fed grains that are GMO, and all these things are going to have chemicals that we might not think about. They eat the chemicals, then we eat them, so the chemicals are getting into our body. So when we can eat healthy, organic, non-processed foods, this is going to help reduce or avoid these harmful chemicals, pesticides, and heavy metals from weakening or depleting our immune system. This one probably sounds so simple, but we are more than ever now with this whole COVID and pandemic going around, we're very conscious of proper hand washing. This kind of goes hand in hand, no pun intended, with just cleanliness and sanitation. That's really going to affect our immune system, because when we're being clean, we're making sure that we're getting these external bacteria, environmental pollutants, viruses, anything we're touching from getting into our body. It can be absorbed through our skin. We can touch our face, something natural. We touch our face like 200 times a day without even knowing it. We're getting that, that can either get into our respiratory system, get into our digestive system, and that's giving, these little bacteria and viruses the golden ticket to get inside our body and start wreaking havoc. So if we're just making sure that we're practicing proper hand washing and cleanliness, this is going to make sure that we're not allowing these things to get into our body and through our skin. We all know how to wash our hands properly, but we want to make sure that we're washing it whenever we're touching anything that could be contaminated. Of course, after using the restroom, before eating, handling money, whenever we cough or sneeze. Pretty much going anywhere out in public places is kind of our routine we're used to right now with the pandemic, as well as touching animals sometimes. They're outside, they're touching things, we touch them, and then we might touch our faces. So we want to just make sure that we're practicing proper cleanliness and sanitation. So let's take a general overview, just real quick, because we did cover a lot. How can we support our immune system? 2 ways. With a healthy diet, this includes the whole food diet that was, like I said, fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, lean meats, low-fat dairy, legumes, nuts, and healthy fats and oils all contribute to a whole food diet. As well as let's add some of those immune boosting foods, like I mentioned, garlic, ginger, honey, etc. Have those amazing anti-inflammatory, antiseptic, antiviral, antibacterial, plus antioxidant properties. They're going to help support and boost your immune system. These we can add to our diet as an easy way to help naturally boost our immune system. As well as we want to make sure we're getting those essential vitamins and minerals that our white blood cells and immune system need to stay healthy and function properly. We can either get these through our whole food diet, or we can get these through additional supplements as well. And let's try that probiotic. This is going to help support and strengthen our good gut bacteria, which is essential. Our immune system is controlled in there. We want to make sure that it has a healthy, safe environment to live, thrive, and grow and be strong. And let's make sure that we're keeping proper hydration. Like I said, we want to make sure we're drinking enough water to make sure that our body is staying healthy and hydrated, but as well, we're getting that natural detoxification. And let's make sure that we're adding, if needed, some herbal immune system support. These are those amazing immune supporting herbs such as euthanasia, ashwagandha, etc., that are going to have all those amazing anti-inflammatory, antiseptic, antiviral properties, as well, such as the immune boosting foods that are going to help give you that amazing immune supporting. The other main category is we want to support our immune system with a healthy lifestyle. We want to make sure we're doing our daily exercise. This is the 4 to 5 days a week for 30 or 45 minutes, anything you like. But we want to make sure that this is going to help boost our immune system and increase our body circulation, which is important for our immune system. As well as we're getting that 7+ hours of quality sleep, or trying to attempt to get that, as well as we're starting our regular wake and sleep schedule to help get our natural circadian rhythm on that natural balanced time clock, so that our body will be more apt to go to sleep when it needs to and wake up when it needs to. We're making sure that we're reducing stress using some of those tips, breathing exercises, yoga, meditation, being out in nature, being with friends and family, etc. We're avoiding smoking, drinking, and alcohol when necessary. And we're making sure that we're kind of trying to avoid or get out of some of these extreme emotions and trying to stay happy and positive. We're practicing that cleanliness that we're all used to right now, proper hand washing, wearing our face masks, etc., will help support and boost our immune system, as well as keeping just a general regular daily routine. This is going to be important because when we're keeping this general routine, it's going to balance our natural body rhythms, but also usually when you're in a general routine, you're making sure that you're not forgetting any of these essential immune supporting routines or diet things. If it's on a regular routine, we're more than likely to do it daily. So these are just some amazing tips that we can do to make sure that we're supporting our immune system or boosting it when need be, when it's weakened or depleted. Some of my 2 favorite immune supporting formulations that I just wanted to recommend is the first one at the top. It's called Chavenpros Jam. This is an ancient Ayurvedic immune supporting jam that's been used for thousands of years. It's thick, but I love it. It kind of tastes like a spiced tamarind jam. You can take it many ways. I like to just take a teaspoon of it and just eat it full mouth. I love the taste of it. It's very sweet and delicious. And kind of have my glass of tea after it in the mornings. You can also just spread it, it's jam, so you can spread it on toast or a cracker or a cookie or whatever. Or you can also just take your teaspoon and use it in your tea as your sweetening agent if you drink sweeter tea. But this one is a combination of 20 plus moon boosting herbs, as well as honey and ghee and jaggery, which are also going to help carry those amazing herbs and spices quicker into your tissues to help get quicker immune supporting support. And usually you'll take a teaspoon once or twice a day to get that immune supporting. And you can buy that Chavenpros anywhere online. You can buy it on Amazon. There's different brands as well, but this is going to be one of my favorites that I take daily, just every day, to help make sure that my immune system is boosted and in tip-top condition. One I made especially right before the COVID, I want to make sure that everyone is getting that immune boosting, but also that respiratory support to make sure that your lungs and your breathing is strong and healthy. This is very important right now with what's going on with the pandemic. And so I made this. What it is organic raw honey with all of those similar immune boosting and supporting spices and herbs. It's just tastes like a kind of like a cinnamony spiced honey, and you can take it the same ways as Chavenpros. You can take a spoonful of it. It's delicious if you love honey. You can put it in your tea to sweeten it. You can add it to, oatmeal or yogurt if you want to kind of eat it with it, but it's just another great way to get all of these essential immune boosting herbs and spices into your body daily to support not just your immune system, but your respiratory health as well. That one you can find and purchase on my website, healingyourselfholistically.com. If you're interested in that, definitely check it out. I just wanted to say thank you for being here with me. I hope you learned a lot about your immune system, how it works, the different factors that can affect your immune system, whether it's weakening or depleting it, signs and symptoms that might be red flags to take a look at. That'll kind of give you an idea the status of your immune system, whether it is strong or a little depleted, and then some great diet and lifestyle tips and techniques that you can use to help boost your immune system daily. Thank you so much. You can find more information on my website, healingyourselfholistically.com, as well as that amazing immune boosting food list and kind of some other general tips and guidelines. We want to make sure that we're supporting not just our health, but our immune system, especially more than ever right now, so that we can stay healthy and live long, happy lives. Once again, thank you so much and goodbye.